Long shorts. Superficial. Sometimes people attack me and the videos that I make, and sometimes I hit back. Here is one such example.
Is preying on a pre-existing narrative.
This guy's got a 3-minute long video where he's just attacking me and the dating down video that I made. I'm pretty sure he's one of those people who is at this level, which is a pretty high level, but high doesn't mean good, it just means complex. It works like this. A shoe is very simple, and a bike is more complex, and a car is very complex. But you can still have a really good shoe or a really bad car. So these lower levels would be like a shoe, and the higher levels would be like a bike and a car and an airplane and a cruise ship. And I think this guy is just driving a bad car, which is a really big problem in our society right now, this level in particular. The first thing he says is that I am preying on a pre-existing narrative because I'm a predator. And this pre-existing narrative is that women want a man that is more successful than they are and makes more money than they do. And then he says it's false, which it is not. There's just a ton of information on this. Women are, on average, twice as likely to associate cash flow with love and emotion. Basically, if you ask women, do you want a man that makes more money than you, most of them say yes. Some of them even say that a man who asks you to go 50-50 is feminine. He then says, sure, there might be some women that want that superficial dynamic. He's calling money superficial. Remember, money is how we get homes and food and stuff. And then he says that's kind of like men saying they only want women at a certain standard of beauty, and he suggests 9s and 10s. And I don't think that most men expect to get a 9 or a 10. I think that this is what they expect based on where they are. And yeah, men have standards of beauty. If I feel like you're not attractive enough, we're not gonna move in together. I'm currently shooting for a 6, by the way. I would be happy with anything in this range. I can't afford this. Again, he attacks what people want. He says that having beauty standards is for shallow men who haven't matured and developed emotionally. I think maturity is when you know where you are and what you can get. He then says that women who have not matured emotionally or mentally might want men that are more successful. He says they have some work to do on themselves. He basically says having standards is a gross fantasy for men and women. He says, do you really think that just making money and having success makes you a good man in the eyes of a woman, and not how you treat them in a relationship or how you respect them in a relationship? And I think I've been pretty clear on that. Women care about a lot of things, and it makes them feel a lot of different ways. Some women have high money standards and some not as much, and some have high personality standards and some not as much. So it's not an either or. It's not either money or personality, just like with men. It's not either looks or personality. We just add up these values and decide how we feel about people. He says if you enjoyed my video, then, you need to figure your life out and you need therapy. And the reason that he sounds like he's on his period is because he's not navigating this level very well. So right here, it says, discovery of unique subjective reality. And even though everybody is unique in what they want and how it makes them feel about individual people, there are still rules governing what people feel about each other and why. That's what people like this are so cranky about. They want you to believe that if you point out a generalization, then you're a predator. But really, I'm just helping people learn how to think and how others think. So maybe from now on you could, listen to women when they talk, instead of insulting them and speaking for them.